Hi, third graders. Hope you're doing great today. So I wanted to come on here so that we could start our new, I was going to say in-class read aloud, but we're more virtual read aloud right now. And our new book that we will be reading together is titled The War with Grandpa. And this is written by Robert Kimmel Smith. He's also the author of the book Chocolate Fever, which I know we have in our classroom. So I'm not sure if maybe some of you have read it or maybe that's another book that you could read sometime. So I'm going to go ahead and read the back to you so you can kind of have an idea of what this book is going to be about. Now, Peter's the main character. Here we go. Peter is thrilled that Grandpa is coming to live with him. Well, that is until Grandpa moves right into Peter's room, forcing him to go upstairs. Peter loves his grandpa, but wants his room back. He has no choice but to declare war. With the help of his friends, Peter devises an outrageous plan to make Grandpa surrender his room. But Grandpa is tougher than he looks. Rather than giving in, Grandpa plans to get even. They used to be such great pals. Has their war gone too far? So this book is, let me see. There's several chapters in this one. There are 37 chapters. So they're a little shorter, some of them. So I'm going to go ahead and read 3 chapters today. And there's a few pictures throughout the book, but they're more just drawing ones that aren't color, but that kind of gives you a little idea of what's going on. So here we go. The War with Grandpa. And the boy in the beginning, Peter, you'll see that he starts writing this story as though it's for his teacher in his classroom, where he's like writing a narrative. Okay, chapter 1. Peter Stokes' true and real story. This is the true and real story of what happened when Grandpa came to live with us and took my room, and how I went to war with him and him with me, and what happened after that. I'm typing out my paper without lines on my dad's computer because Mrs. Klein, you see, she's my 5th grade English teacher, and she said that we should write our story about something important that happened to us and tell it in the true and real way and put it into words that people said that if we could remember what people exactly said, to put quotation marks around everything. She also said to keep the sentences short. Looking back at how I just began, I can see that I'm doing terrible already. The first 2 sentences already took up half the page. My little sister Jennifer came in and asked me, "What am I doing?" So I told her. Here's the first picture, just kind of a drawing of Peter's family. And that was this whole area was his first big one sentence. My goodness. She told me to put Pac-Man in my story, and maybe even Wonder Woman or Spider-Man. She watches reruns of every show on there on Channel 6. No, I said. Why not? Because this is a story about Grandpa and me, silly. Not some made-up thing like on TV. Well, could your story have a horse in it then? She asked. Jennifer loves horses a lot. She cuts pictures out of them out of magazines and puts them up on the wall in her room. No horses. How about a magic fairy? No! Well, I bet it's going to be a stupid story then, she said. Jennifer was wearing a Pac-Man baseball hat, her Superman t-shirt, and a jeans belt that said jeans on it, and sneakers that said left and right on the toes. She looked like she was a walking billboard. Oh, it's going to be a great story, I said. Well, how does it begin? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to remember when you came marching in my room. Well, I think it should begin with me, Jenny said, because I was the one that found out that Grandpa was coming to live here before you even knew about it. Good idea, I said. And there's Peter writing at his desk with his little sister. And put in the story that I am very beautiful with long blonde hair and lovely blue eyes. I just did. Now you're going to have a great story, she said. Chapter 2, The Beginning. I like to read stories that have a lot of chapters that are short because it makes the book go faster and you can always find your place. So you can bet my story is going to have a bunch of teeny tiny chapters. It really began when Jennifer came into my room with that look on her face that usually means she knows something that I don't. That's one thing that Jennifer likes best in life, a secret. Not that she's good at keeping secrets, she's actually no good at it all in that department. In fact, I can usually get her to tell me anything I want, because I am her big brother, and she's only a little kid. I know something you don't know, Jennifer said. She was heading across my room to the broken rocking chair. Don't sit on my rocker, I replied. She looked at me and made one of her faces. Kind of like when her eyes roll back and her tongue sticks out and she starts pouting. Why not? Because you're going to make the arm pop out of the back like you always do because you rock too hard in it. I will not, she said, which was a lie. She always breaks my rocker. The rocker used to be in the living room until it broke. Mom was going to throw it in the trash, but I rescued it and I brought it up to my bedroom. One of these days, my dad said that he'll glue the arm really solid so it won't pop out again. Jennifer was now standing near the rocker. Don't even touch it, I said, but before I could, don't you want to know what I know? Jennifer asked. I already know everything you know and a whole lot more, I said. I picked up the book on my bed like I didn't want to talk anymore and I pretended like I was reading. Well, it's about Grandpa. I just kept on reading. Grandpa Jack. I still ignored her. From Florida. Now that made me laugh because we only have one Grandpa Jack and he lives in Fort Lauderdale in Florida. I remember him, I told her. It's not funny, Peter Stokes, Jennifer said. Grandpa Jack is too lonely down in Florida since Grandma died. So he sold their house and he's coming here to live with us. Right here in this very house. I heard Mom talking to Dad about it on the telephone. We're supposed to cheer him up, you and me, because his leg is hurting him real bad. And he's very sad about Grandma. Grandpa's coming to live here? I asked. Yup, she nodded. I'm glad, I said, and I really was. I like Grandpa a whole lot, and I don't get to see him much because he lives so far away. For once, you found out a good secret, Jenny, I said. Oh, that's not the secret, she added, putting her hands on her hips and posing like a statue or something. Where do you think his room will be? Oh, I don't know. Upstairs on the 3rd floor, probably in the guest room. She smiled and put her tongue between her teeth. So it showed, oh no, that's where you're going. Me? Yup. She smiled at me because now I was groaning out loud. You mean Grandpa is getting my room? I can't tell you, Jennifer said. That's the secret. Whoa. Chapter 3. A Room Without Gloom. Let me tell you about my room. I love it. I was born here. Well, I was born in the hospital, really, but I have lived in this room all my life. 10 years so far. My crib used to be in the corner near the window that looks out to the driveway. Now my bed is on the long wall, and I have these bookshelves right behind my headboard, and my high-intensity lamp is there too. My desk is in the corner where my crib used to be, so I can now look out the window when I'm doing my homework. I have these yellow toy cabinets with all my stuff in them, and on top of the cabinets are shoe boxes where I have all my baseball cards. There's a thick carpet on the ground that used to tickle my feet when I was little. Now I have a poster up on the wall of some of my favorite baseball players. This room is mine. Nobody else in my family has ever lived here. Nobody. I know how my room is in the morning, when the sun's peeping in over the roof over the Murphy house behind ours, and how it comes in through my Venetian blinds. I know the sound when it rains hard and pings against my windows and the drain pipe outside. I can get up out of my bed in the middle of the night and walk around my room without even looking because I know where every single thing is. Nothing about my room is scary. When the floorboards creak at night, I know it's floorboards and not some weird monster. And when the wind rubs the maple tree against the side of the porch outside, I'm not afraid that some bad guy or crook is sneaking into our house. When you live in a room your whole life, that room is yours. It doesn't belong to Jennifer or my mom or dad, and it certainly doesn't belong to Grandpa Jack, who has never lived in this house in a day in his life. This room is mine, and I love it, and I belong in it, and I don't want to live anywhere else. So tomorrow will be chapter 4, and it's titled The Deadly Dinner. Wow. So kind of interesting. Maybe you can relate if you've ever had to have a family member or maybe even a friend temporarily come and live with you, and you had to maybe give up your room or your space, or maybe it was even like a younger cousin or sibling where you had to then give up even some of your toys that you felt were yours. So maybe some of you can make some comparisons to this so far. So I wonder what will happen next. All right, well, I hope you're having a great day, and tomorrow we'll read another 3 chapters or so, and I will be seeing you guys soon. All right, take care, my friends.